Good morning and welcome back. You're watching World Talks and I'm Klaudia Czerwińska. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico says he will attend World War II commemorations in Moscow next May after accepting an invitation from Russian President Vladimir Putin. Fico, who showcased his pro-Russian stance since taking office more than a year ago, immediately halted military supplies to Kyiv while allowing commercial sales to continue. Examining how Fico's actions reflect on the future trajectory of the country and its place in the EU, I'm joined by Juraj Marušiak, political scientist at the Slovak Academy of Sciences. A very good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining me here on the program.
Good morning.
So, what is your reaction to Robert Fico's willingness to attend Moscow's Victory Day celebrations on May 9th next year and his appearance on Russia's state-owned TV station?
So Fico already declared pro-Russian statements, especially since he moved to the opposition. However, even before 2020, when he lost parliamentary elections and he became a part of a leader of opposition for a relatively short time, he criticized the sanction policy against Russia. However, on the level of practical steps, he was a loyal politician, loyal to the mainstream of European Union. However, now this is really a step where he is differentiated from other European politicians, and he shows his proximity to Viktor Orban and to Alexander Vučić. Please be aware that he announced his will to visit Moscow during the visit in Belgrade after his meeting with Serbian President Alexander Vučić.
So what would you say, what message do you think this sends to the European Union and its allies? Because clearly it seems to be the case that Mr. Fico is sitting on the fence when it comes to this situation, because he's one leg in Russia, one leg in the European Union. What message does it send?
So this is the message that he will continue this policy, sitting on the fence, still. However, with more that the relations with Russia are his priorities. These relations were always a priority of Robert Fico. He developed very intense relations, although he was last time in Moscow in 2016. So the main message of Robert Fico is that Slovakia and he himself want to be the first politician from European Union who broke this fence of sanctions, and that according to Robert Fico, Slovakia should play the crucial role in the future normalization or restoration of relations between Europe and Russian Federation. So in this way, Fico believes that the war in Ukraine will finish very soon, and that he expecting probably some political or economic privileges from Russia.
And how would you actually interpret Fico's comments about the war in Ukraine, saying that the West supporting Ukraine is actually prolonging the war?
So this is nothing new. He is saying this since the beginning of the war. So this is not a surprise. So of course this is a clear pro-Russian statement. Although Robert Fico stressed that the aggression was the violation of international law, and he even as a leader, as an opposition politician, as a member of opposition, supported in parliament such resolution. However, all further statements were rather pro-Russian, and of course, including this one. On the other hand, Fico is continuing to sell military equipment to Ukraine in a commercial way. This is mainly the statement addressed to his own voters. Fico is addressing really pro-Russian and anti-Western electorate. This course became more intense since 2020.
Where do we stand on this? Because only a second ago you mentioned that Fico believes that he could be one of the first people to actually overcome the sanctions on Russia when it comes to the European Union. On the other hand, he claimed himself that he finds those sanctions quite ineffective. So which one is it?
He is, of course, about this inefficiency of sanctions. He is saying also very long time since the first implementation of first sanctions. However, he in practice he implemented these sanctions. You see, this is he did nothing for blocking the EU sanction policy in Brussels, although he participated in EU summits. This is really his game. One game is addressed to the voters, other game to the international politicians. He announced Fico, what is probably more the most crucial. Fico announced his decision to go to Moscow to accept the Putin's invitation. Immediately after his call with newly elected President of the United States.
And what do you make of
Donald
that? That he decided. What do you make of that? That he decided to actually accept this invitation after speaking to the next president of the United States, who has a particular stance on providing military aid to Ukraine and how the war in Ukraine is actually going to be over.
Mm-hmm. I think also this is step probably to in favor of Trump. He believes just that Trump will finish this war, that Trump will stop the military aid to Ukraine, although Trump never told publicly anything in such a way. The Fico is already he is in conflict with the mainstream of European Union, or not only because of his foreign policy course, but also because of his domestic his measures on the domestic level, because his legal reforms, reforms of the judicial system. So Fico is really now the part of such segment of European policy politics related to Viktor Orban. This is really now he is going to be really openly pro-Russian politician, and he shows that probably he really doesn't care what European EU mainstream, the majority in European Union is saying.
It seems to be the case that with Robert Fico at the helm, Slovakia as a whole seems to be one foot in Europe and one foot on a banana peel. And this whole situation and his attendance during the May's event in Moscow, how do you think this is going to affect Slovakia's position in the European Union and in NATO?
So I think it can really contribute to the certain isolation of the country which is already apparent. So, for example, there was no official visit of or official meeting between the Prime Minister of Slovakia and Poland. Also, Czech Prime Minister Fiala announced that the regular intergovernmental consultations, so regular annual meetings of governments of both countries, are cancelled. So of course, nobody knows what will happen in May next year because of really turbulent times. But of course,
Or before that,
if
for that matter.
Fico and Orban will be the single European politicians in Moscow on the celebration of the end of Second World War, it will it will really damage Slovak position in European Union.
And how do you think that Fico's pro-Russian statements and actions reflect a broader trend when it comes to European Union? Because we know that Fico is not the only pro-Russian sympathizer, so it only begs to wonder who are the other people and what does it say about the diplomatic and political landscape in Europe?
So, of course, he is not the single one, but besides Viktor Orban, he is the single leading politician. So, of course, nobody knows how the German government next year will look like after the early snap elections in this country. We can see trend of the growing support of pro-Russian parties in United Kingdom. So of course, the Fico is communicating mostly with right-wing populist politicians. It's not a secret, although he tried after the European elections, his party tried to join the Party of European Socialists. However, European Social Democrats are no more interested in cooperation of Robert Fico. However, Fico really believes in victory of Russia in Ukrainian war, and he believes that Russian role in future in European politics will increase. This is surely his. He's really deeply convinced in it.
Unfortunately, we'll have to put a full stop there. Thank you so much for joining me. Juraj Marušiak, political scientist at the Slovak Academy of Sciences. Thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you. Goodbye.
And so this would be all for now here on World Talks, but please do stay tuned as we'll be back with some news breakdown in just a moment.